Hey guys, hope you're having a good Aries season. So speaking of Aries and even Pisces, I wanted to speak about the great unification that is Aries and also Pisces. As you can see, all the signs, they come to die in Pisces. So basically, Pisces has a sense of all of the signs in it and a sense of a holistic, holographic sense of the signs all coming in one. So Pisces person can feel other people's pain. They can. It's a very spiritual sign. It also can get lost in its own escapist tendencies and putting expectations onto other things because anything's possible because all the signs are here. However, it's coming to die in Pisces. It's coming to get transformed into the next sign. You see? The sine wave, follow the sine wave. It goes back to the great unifier, right? It goes back to the great unity, which is over here in Aries, the beginning of Aries. Aries is also contains all the signs in it as well, but it's more of like a premature ejaculation, too impulsive, immature, has a lot to learn. However, it's still spiritually all the signs in it. And Aries represents war. It's ruled by Mars, right? It represents masculinity and war. And if you think about it, we came into this world with the original race war. And I don't mean, the race wars going on today. I mean the original race war. We had to basically beat our brothers and sisters in a race to get to the egg, right? So, like, for example, Leo, fellow fire sign of Aries, Leo represents the sperm. It's literally a sperm symbol, represents the sun. So the sun rules Leo, and the sun is exalted in Aries, okay? But Mars is the ruler of Aries. Mars is also very sperm-like, and it's basically, we had a race to the egg to beat our brothers and sisters, and we basically killed them off because we made it to the egg. And once we get into the egg, Taurus happens, right? The cell split, the divided cell. Taurus, which is obviously the next sign after Aries, is a fixed earth sign as compared to the cardinal fire. The great beginner, right? Begins, initiates everything is Aries. Now, Taurus is two of us. Taurus, the Taurus field. So basically, Aries would be the great dielectric center. As you can see, the symbol of Aries is dielectric. That a dielectric inertial plane in the middle. And Taurus represents the two-ball cane, all right? The two-ball cane, by the way, look in the two-ball cane, the great architect, the smith, the forger like Vulcan and Hephaestus in mythology, right? So two-ball cane, look where we get the Facebook logo from him too. So two-ball cane, let's just say Taurus. Let's talk about Taurus, right? It's two balls and a cane, literally. But it's two. So it represents the great duality. It's not masculine, ruled by Mars and testosterone anymore. Now it's estrogen, feminine, female, sensuality, magnetic. So Aries represents, obviously, the dielectric center because it's the great unifier, remember? So if it's the great unifier. All things come from dielectric center. And then it moves centrifugal, divergent, comes outwards, makes the Taurus field, which is magnetic, and then within that magnetic Taurus field would be the next sign over, which is Gemini, which would be electricity. So dielectric, magnetic, electric. Gemini is very electric because it represents the nervous system, the neurons in your head, messages going back and forth. It represents local travel. Going back and forth with messages, literal, like in your hand messages, like a mailman, or the mind, receiving messages and downloading and talking to people. So that is something that's very interesting about the unity of Aries and Pisces, right? And then it starts to multiply, it gets multiplicity, just like the orgasm, the father's ejaculation, where we all came from, left a pattern. Pattern, the word father is pater, left a pattern in mother, mater. But yeah, and then after that, it's basically multiplicity. Think about all the millions of sperm that flew out. But one gets unified, okay? And what else was I going to speak about? I guess that's it for today.